Today, we're going to talk about confidence. More specifically, how you, as a parent, can give more confidence to your children. So if that's what you're into, keep on watching. All right, so confidence. Confidence does not come from without, it comes from within. And in this video, we're going to talk about three main things. Number one, we need to understand what dopamine is and how dopamine affects your confidence. Number two, we're going to talk about how to get that confidence. And number three, we're going to talk about activities that you can do with your children to increase their confidence. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some examples that I've used with my own children. So first thing first, what is dopamine? Dopamine is commonly known as the feel-good hormone. And basically, you get a dopamine hit every time that something good happens to you. You eat chocolate, you get a dopamine hit. You watch TV, you get a dopamine hit. You play video game and you land a punch or you kill someone in the video game, you get a dopamine hit. You eat a hamburger, you get a dopamine hit. Every little thing that is quote unquote pleasant will release some kind of dopamine in your body. And so we live in a society that is overly stimulated by dopamine. So imagine for a second that there was a kid that sat on the couch all day and watched TV. And as a parent, you would just go ahead and reward him with $20, $20, $20, $20, $20, just for watching TV. And then you're trying to make that kid understand the value of money. Would they be able to understand the value of money? No, because they get money by simply sitting their butts and watching TV all day. They do not have the concept of what it is to work for that money, because for them, hey, I sit down and do nothing, I get money. Same thing with that dopamine. Sit down, a lot of times we play a video game, we watch TV, and we get that reward. So how does that apply to confidence? Well, I want you to think back about when you were younger, or think back as a parent right now. I know that for me personally, when my son or my daughter struggles, I go ahead and I try to help them a lot of time. But that's not necessarily the good idea, right? The good thing to do. The good thing to do is to let them struggle. Let them struggle, work at it until they're able to do it. Let me give you an example. So let's say that your child is learning to eat with a spoon. Take the spoon, misses the mouth, puts food all over the place. There's food on the floor, food on the bib, food on the onesie, food everywhere, food in the hair, food everywhere, right? There's two things you can do. Either you get mad, which you shouldn't do, obviously, or you let them do it again. Let them do it again, let them do it again, let them do it again. Eventually, they're going to get their mouth and they're going to be able to eat by themselves. You need to let your children be able to do things by themselves. Let me give you another example, tying shoes. Now this is something I remember vividly going through with my son. He was not able to tie a shoe. For him, it was very difficult to tie a shoe. A lot of times, one of the things we did wrong as parents is we would go ahead and we would run out of patience. Like, I'll just tie your shoe for you, right? But he was not able to learn how to do it himself because we just did it for him. The right answer is to let him try to tie a shoe for 10 times in a row, and the 11th time, go ahead and do it. Then next time, let him do it for 10 times in a row. And the 11th time, do it. Let them work towards the goal, and then if they're really not able to, let's go ahead and do it for them. But you need to let them work towards that goal. What has been proven many, many times is that successful people have ability to delay their dopamine gratification. That means that instead of being happy right now, they rather work hard to get happy later than get happy right now. And so if my son as an example, had his shoes tied up all the time, he'd be happy because he'd be able to go outside. But then he would not be able to do it by himself, and that feeling of being able to do the things by himself would not exist for him. And therefore, now that he's able to do the things for himself, he feels much more proud about it. And that delayed gratification that it took so long to do it makes him feel even better. So he gets even a bigger dopamine hit. But that's a good kind of dopamine hit. That's the kind of dopamine hit that we want. So after long sustained effort, we get that reward, not for nothing. So I want you to imagine one more time. Let's say that your child learned math, right? And always used a calculator. 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8, so on and so forth. When a teacher asks to calculate without a calculator and they can't, how would they feel? Like shit, right? Because they did not learn the hard work to do it. All right, so what kind of activities can you do with your children to build that confidence? So if we're talking about young kids, obviously taking that spoon, feeding themselves, getting their own cups of water, even though you know a 2-year-old is going to drop that water, he's going to make a mess. Let them make that mess. It's okay. Let them go to the faucet, get their cup, plastic cup, put too much water into it, make a mess, spill it, and then do it again. Do it again. Brush their teeth by themselves. They're going to miss some spots. It's okay. Ask them to do it again. Do it for them a little bit, then do it again, over and over again. So here's some activities. Eating by yourself, drinking, putting their own water in your cup, tying their shoes, putting their toys away, getting dressed by themselves, all doing their bed, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning their bedrooms, all these tiny executive functions that they need to learn. Learn them as early on as possible. Now, don't get mad if they can't do it, because they won't be able to do it at first, and that's okay. But the point is that sustained effort. And at one point, they're going to be able to do it. And at that point, they're going to add an extra brick on their wall of confidence. And that confidence is going to grow higher and higher and higher with time. Now, what can you do with older kids? First one I'd like to share with you is something that I did when my son was 4 years old. Now, I live in China and my Chinese is pretty damn bad. I'm not really able to communicate the way I want in Chinese. And one day, I went to the daycare to pick him up. And as I usually did, I went to look at his artwork, picked it up, looked at it, and said, hey, good job, buddy, right? And his teacher went and told me that his drawing was bad. It was ugly, the colors were wrong, so on and so forth. And she started to insult him not only in front of him, in front of me, but also other parents and other kids. And I was pissed off beyond belief. I was like, how dare you insult my son in front of other people? And how dare you make him feel like shit? I was so mad. And I told him, I love your artwork. First of all, it was beautiful. It really was. I really liked it. I thought it was really great. But I really wanted to teach him, and more specifically, teach her a lesson. I want to put her back in her place. So I turned his artwork into shoes. That was the original artwork he did that his teacher said was ugly. And I turned it into a high top. This high top is actually for my wife that we've done. And turned other shoes into artwork like this one, which I really, really love. This is for him. And we turned it into bags and shoes and other things like this. And I put those shoes on to go to school. because there was no shoes of this size, so I bought some big ones for me. And the teacher saw it, and our jaw dropped. She was flabbergasted. She couldn't understand how freaking awesome it looked on shoes. And this was a lesson I wanted to teach my son. Perspective is everything. And that made him feel so proud. We framed this artwork in a very specific way to make these amazing shoes. So sometimes, you may not like something, but if you look at it in another way, another light, you're going to learn to like it. And anyways, doing those shoes or those bags is a fantastic way to boost self-confidence. And if you're interested, just drop me a line. I'll let you know how to make those. They're a bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. And if you're actually interested in these shoes, what I'll do, if we have a lot of interest, I'll do a bunch of it, and I'll send them to you, and we'll donate everything to Children's Foundation. All right? Anyways, let's move on to the second activity that I think is absolutely fantastic. Now, we did this when my son was 6 years old and my daughter was 5. 4.5, almost 5. What we did is that we got them to go ahead and sell lozenges. Specifically, the brand of the lozenger is Ricola. So my kids are mixed kids, Chinese and Canadian. And we live in a small town in China. So we taught them a script saying basically what their name is, how old they are, where they're from, and what they're selling, what it's good for, what they're selling, so on and so forth. And we were right next to them, and we said, go talk to that person, go talk to this person, go talk to that person, so on and so forth. And at first, I must say, they were not really good. We had to basically say 99% of the script. They were very shy, they couldn't do it, but as time went by, 99% of the script said by mom and dad became 95% of the script. That 95% became 90%, that 90 became 85%, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, my son and my daughter last year were able to, a few times, say the entire script 100% by themselves. And actually more than a few times, quite a few times. And overall, within a 2.5 or 3 weeks period, made about $350 in sales, which was amazing. With perfect strangers, just going to them and just, learning to be confident to talk to strangers, confident in their stories, confident in themselves. And that really made them feel great. So sales is a fantastic way that you can teach your kids confidence. And you can start very, very, very early, as I said. Now, obviously, as mentioned, they won't be able to do it at first. Totally normal, to be expected. We actually started to do this exercise again this year. And I must say, it's going pretty damn well. While they forgot a lot of the script, we are able to start from the get-go at 50% of the script said by mom and dad, and they see the rest of the 50%, which is way better than last year as a starting point. And they both my son and my daughter, both see the huge improvement from the place they were last year. And that gives them amazing confidence. So, if you're looking for other tips and tricks for your children on how to grow their confidence, simply drop me a line down below and I'll reply to you either by video or with a little message. Until next time, bye for now.